Yes, people, what's happening? Charlie here. Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV and welcome to another video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing the multi-club ownership and what it means for Chelsea and what benefits it's going to have for the club now that we have recently acquired French club Strasbourg, a near 100% stake for around £65 million. So Arsenal have signed Kai Havertz for 65 million. We've bought a whole club for 65 million. Levels to the game, you could say. What does this mean for Chelsea? Obviously, we know since Todd Boehly has come in that they've been looking to start up a multi-club ownership, a multi-club model similar to the one at the Red Bull Group with Leipzig and Salzburg in Austria, similar to obviously what the City Group have got. They've got multiple clubs around the world, including Palermo in Italy and obviously New York FC in the MLS. So yeah, obviously Strasbourg's not going to be the only one. There's going to be other ones. Chelsea are in talks with some clubs in Portugal, Rio Ave, Portimonense, as well, to name a few. I'm sure there'll be plans to get other clubs maybe in Germany, for example, maybe Italy as well. I'm sure we're looking in multiple different locations. But I guess the biggest thing that this means for Chelsea is that we're going to have control of the development of some of our talented youngsters. Yes, you can agree, loan deals with other clubs, but ultimately you're not in control of their development. You're not in control of what minutes they're going to play, how they're going to be used. Whereas by having ownership of another club, we're in total control of the development of the pathway. And it kind of shows them a clear pathway to getting into the squad at Chelsea, which is going to be key. We've got a lot of talented youngsters, a lot of talented 18 to 20-year-olds, and the best way of developing them and guaranteeing them minutes is by owning other clubs that we can send them to at a high level, playing one of Europe's top 5 leagues. Strasbourg are a club that have, got a lot of history. They finished 15th in Liga last year. They've got aspirations now with this Chelsea investment to try and finish, between 4th and 8th in the league. They spent 25 million. They spent 6 million euros last season on the squad. Chelsea have committed to giving them 25 million euros to spend this season. So, almost, quadrupling the budget that they've spent last season. So that should help them, in their quest to get further at the table, bring more talented players to the club. But, for the likes of, players like Casadei, players like Datro Fofana, Andre Santos, guys that, may not be ready for the first team, guys like Gabriel Slonina as well. This represents an opportunity where we can control the development, control the amount of minutes they're going to play, how they're used, and get them regular minutes in a top 5 league to help develop their game. And, the easiest way of being in control of the development of youngsters is by acquiring another club. And, people might agree or disagree with the multi-club model, might not think it's fair or it's wrong or whatever it is. But ultimately, this is the only way that you can guarantee to be in control of your talented youngsters' development. And, we've got a lot of talented youngsters on our books. Not all of them are going to be ready to play in the first team straight away. So we need the next best alternative, which is to control that development and allow them to get regular minutes in one of Europe's top 5 leagues, which is what the Strasbourg move is going to allow us to do. And, within, a day or so of the news coming out of our Strasbourg investment, you've already got the likes of Datro Fofana linked with a move. Now, Datro Fofana came in from Norway, the Norwegian league. He made a few appearances for the first team last season, wasn't great. And, he apparently got dropped to the 21s because they weren't impressed with him in training. Didn't really light it up there either. So he needs a loan move to go and develop himself. And a move to Strasbourg would work out very well for him, playing in France's Liga, which is a good league. Now, I know it gets, called a farmers league, but it's a good league. They produce a lot of good players. It's a good level. And that would do his development very good as well. Maybe the same for Casadei, as I said, Santos, Slonina. Obviously not all going to go on loan here, but this is the big plus. And that's kind of what it means for Chelsea, is that we are now in full control of the development of our youngsters and what sort of minutes they're going to play, how often they're going to play. And it's going to be experience in a top 5 league, which is going to be invaluable in developing them and making sure that they're then ready to come in and make a big impact at the club. Obviously, of course, it works twofold as well. If Strasbourg have got decent players on their hands or decent youngsters and developing good players that, we like the look of, then we've kind of, got first dibs on getting those talented youngsters into the club at Chelsea. We've seen that work very well at Salzburg and Leipzig. Benjamin Sesko going from Salzburg to Leipzig. There's been a few others that have done that. I think Dominik Szoboszlai as well a few years ago. There's been many that have made that move, and that works very well for RB Leipzig. Salzburg kind of develop the players. Leipzig take them and develop them on more and then tend to sell them for a big profit, as they've done with many players. And, with the City group, that's not quite worked out yet. City haven't really taken any players that have played in the first team from their various clubs that they own, but they have flipped players on for profit that they've signed that have never made an appearance for Man City. And ultimately, business is business. It's twofold. Yes, you want to use it to develop your players, but you also want to use it to get players from those sister clubs, I guess, and then sell them on for a profit. And you can move these players between clubs as well. It's a way of making some quick money also. So yeah, I mean, you look at it and it's kind of win-win for Chelsea in this situation. I'm excited to see kind of how the multi-club model is going to work. This won't be the only club. We're in talks about acquiring a club in Portugal, possibly Rio Ave or Portimonense. Again, Portugal is a hotbed for talent as well. So the Portuguese league isn't bad either. There's a great success rate of transfers from the Portuguese league over to the Premier League. Your likes of your Luis Diaz is from Porto, to name an example. Bruno Fernandes coming over from Sporting Lisbon. Guys making a big impact straight away. So the Portuguese league has got a good hit rate, as does the French league coming over to play in England. But I guess, yeah, those are the main things that it means with Chelsea. It now just means, as I said, we're in control of the development of our youngsters. We've got someone to send them where we know that they're going to be guaranteed minutes to play. They're going to play regularly, and it's going to be massively help with their development. And then, as I said before, then we've got the flip side of the situation where we can take talented youngsters or talented players from Strasbourg and see if they're kind of good enough to play in the Chelsea first team. And it also massively helps us out. We can't find suitable takers for players that are looking to loan out or players that we're looking to sell potentially. Then we've got a club that we own, which we can't just dump those players there, but we've got a route to get rid of those players to a club that would probably more than likely take them as well. So this is exciting times. As I say, it won't be the only club. There's going to be more, but this is the first club in the multi-club model. It's now up and running. It's exciting times. I'm looking forward to seeing what players end up going out on loan to Strasbourg, if any, this summer, how they develop. But it's the way forward in football. And, I think it's not something that you're going to see less of. It's something you're definitely going to be seeing more of. So let's wait and see how this one pans out. Wait and see what players do end up going on loan there. It's going to be some of the talented youngsters. We're moving away from just loaning people out for the sake of it. If you haven't got a future, you're going to be shipped on a permanent basis rather than multiple years being loaned out. And only the guys that are talented youngsters and have got a future at the club are the ones that are going to be loaned out to aid their development. And I think that's the way we're going to be moving now with kind of the loan market at Chelsea, is that, if you haven't got a future, you're going to be sold rather than loaned out. And the loan system is going to be used to develop the talented youngsters we've got on our books to then get them ready for the first team by playing a lot of minutes at a high level. I'm excited for it. Maybe, we might even get a half decent player ourselves from Strasbourg or from one of these Portuguese clubs that we hopefully are going to find ourselves investing in as well. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much the main summary of kind of the multi-club situation that we're at now. The benefits I feel it's going to have for Chelsea, the benefits it's going to have for the clubs that we're investing in as well. So let's wait and see how this one plans out. So yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you smash the likes, as I said, subscribe to the channel and leave your thoughts in the comments below. And I'll catch you again in another video soon.